Welcome back. Coastal Brighton offers many attractions. For those looking for that special lifestyle that other suburbs can't provide, Coastal Brighton is the place to live, work and play. I met Jason and Denise Mill in their home on Marine Parade to find out what was so great about living there and how the unique lifestyle could be the answer to New Brighton's future. What do you hope to achieve in the recovery of Coastal Brighton?
I think there's, on one side it's the social side, so it is about engaging our own population over here, getting them out their gates, spending their money here instead of over the bridge, and over the last 4 years we're working slowly towards that and it's starting to happen. That's the social side of things.
Professionally as an architect, I think the sort of residential rejuvenation of this area is important. We're seeing a lot of the old batches in this area having an EQC fix up, and all of a sudden they've got new carpet, new paint, and slowly but slowly we're getting street by street. It's a recreational wonderland out here, and so for the young, it's quite exceptional. We're lucky enough to work here, and that's something that I think in present day with technology allowing us to work more flexibly, that we can see this live-work environment happening at the beach. Yeah. It's happening around the rest of the world. We've been doing it as of circumstance after the earthquake, but it'll be tough for me to move back to the city when it's rebuilt. Yeah. People talking about no one coming to Brighton or coastal Brighton and spending money. Seems to be the whole measure of how good it is out here is how much money is spent through the local businesses. Whereas you talk to Tim Sinters and some of those guys that know the coast, the numbers on the pier are really strong. The numbers of people using the forest are really strong. The numbers of people parking in the car park each day having fish and chips because it doesn't cost them much. It costs the family outing $20 instead of they walk into a mall and immediately it sucks $50 out of your pocket almost. That sort of free recreation and free lifestyle is, the smiles per hour, what it's worth out. You walk down that beach, it doesn't cost you a cent. I think a lot of it is recognition as what we've got. And the reason we love it is the assets. It's got nothing to do with the fact we've got high-end shops or top restaurants, or, they're all nice to have, but how many people in Christchurch can walk across the road to a beautiful beach every morning? It's stunning. Get up before the easterly starts, and it's a beautiful place to live. We're getting this clean-up of the neighbourhood via the EQC fix-up of these, what essentially are old beach batches.
Never look better.
And families moving in. It's almost like, Christchurch's secret. You all sit back in 10 years and said, why weren't we out there? The earthquake it's not just Brighton, many communities in Christchurch have realised that social capital, the importance of that.
For me, it was so overwhelming that I ended up putting my energy into New Brighton and just would turn up to working bees with shovels and back up with paint and paint walls when no one was watching. It's like, we're allowed to do this. And so all of a sudden there was a real feeling of belonging that was occurring here, and there was also a feeling of risk-taking and maybe our only opportunity to be able to do that. So there was one day I just put it out there on a Facebook page, who would help with a rockabilly ball, and all these hands went up, and I didn't know these people very well at all. Well, 3 months later we ran a ball that tickets sold out in less than 6 days, and so we've continued that. We haven't stopped, so it's engaging the community, and now the big questions are being asked and the community's engaged. Walls are coming down and people are just talking, and we're getting environments like Switch Cafe, for example, which has become a hub. We can go there now. We're saying, I walk down the mall now and it's hello, oh, hi, and it's something that you dream about, in your community. And I didn't have a New Brighton before the earthquake. It did take the earthquake. So it's our silver lining. And now we're actually, we've got kids that we want to have a future here.
How do you think the Silicon Beach idea can be eventualised in coastal Brighton?
The Silicon Beach was termed out of LA Santa Monica. Santa Monica examples were more lifestyle IT, so it was often young couples starting their own IT-based business, and a lot of LA it's based around movies and that sort of thing. But that could happen here. We've got the government talking about innovation precinct in the centre of town, well, surely those innovative people would rather be out here working flexible hours, surfing, biking, and living in this environment. Yeah, it's just finding those right markets that work out here. You know, I'm doing it as an architect. There's other architects in the area. There's graphic designers. There's web page writers and all sorts of IT-enabled professions, probably, rather than actual IT professions.
In terms of accommodation, what are some of the smaller things that we may need?
Yeah, the backpackers here's full all year. Look at the camping ground, the small cabins there, continually booked out. You know, all the events we have, the coast to coast, the surf champs, the kite days, there's nowhere for people to stay. You know, we've had family try to book into the camping ground, they can't get in, and yet the council would talk of closing it. So there's that small level, cheap accommodation, but you know, top level boutique hotels, as Denise was talking, would work out here very well. We've got the density zoning to build that sort of thing. But also we talked about residential. You know, I'd like to see the village rebuilt with residential above all the commercial spaces, and they can be short-term rental, long-term rental, Ubers, the Airbnb, those sort of technologies are going to make this sort of coastal batch environment quite easy to rent out your spare room, or to rent out the little shack out in the backyard. So those sort of things will come in. But yeah, we need developers to come in and start building accommodation in this. You let people see how good it is to live here, and they will want to come. They want to come where the locals love to live. And that's me when we travel. You know, we went to the Gold Coast. We didn't go stay the obvious. We went where the locals lived, surfed every morning, and had a ball. So often I think out here it's, you know, let people come and see how good it is to live out here. Let us see how our work lives, and they want to come and visit to see that. They want to come and visit to see the cool cafes that we go to every day. They want to see the delis that we go to every day.
Yeah, that aren't necessarily in your face or easy to find. That's the key.
So a great community and lifestyle, and potential growth as a Silicon Beach and bijou hospitality centre. All good reasons to make New Brighton a great place to live, work, play and visit. Coming up, we explore the wider area and check out the features and proposals for the development of Greater Coastal Brighton and beyond.